You ask your wife what's wrong. She says nothing with a tone that clearly means something. You're standing there confused because the words say one thing, but everything else says another. So you shrug and walk away, thinking you're respecting her space. But you just made it worse. Here's what nothing's wrong actually means and how to respond without making things worse. First, understand this. When your wife says nothing's wrong but something clearly is, she's not playing games. She's testing whether it's safe to tell you the truth, because past experience has taught her that when she's been vulnerable, you've either dismissed her, gotten defensive, or made it about you. So now she protects herself by saying nothing. This is the result of emotional safety breaking down over time, and your job isn't to force it out of her. It's to rebuild the trust that makes honesty feel safe again. Here's what not to do when she says nothing's wrong. Don't say, "Okay," and immediately walk away. That confirms her fear that you don't actually care. Don't get frustrated and say, "Fine, whatever." That punishes her for not opening up, which guarantees she never will. And don't push her aggressively with, "I know something's wrong, just tell me." That feels like interrogation, not invitation. So, what do you do instead? You gently call it out while making it safe. Try this. "I can tell something's bothering you, and that's okay. I'm not going anywhere. Whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here." Then you actually stay near. You don't disappear into your phone or leave the room. You stay physically and emotionally available. Here's what that communicates. You're not going to force her, but you're also not going to abandon her. You're holding space for her to come to you when she's ready. That's what safety looks like. Now let's translate some common phrases you hear and what they actually mean. When she says, "I'm fine," what she usually means is, "I'm not fine, but I don't think you'll understand," or "I'm afraid you'll make it worse." When she says, "Do whatever you want," she means, "I have a preference, but I don't feel like my opinion matters to you." When she says, "Never mind," she means, "I tried to share and you weren't really listening, so I'm giving up." Every one of these phrases is a withdrawal. She's pulling back because something made her feel unsafe, to be honest. And if you just take the words at face value, you miss what's really happening underneath. Here's how to respond to each one. If she says, "I'm fine," say, "You don't seem fine." I might not have all the answers, but I want to understand what's going on. If she says, "Do whatever you want," say, "I care about what you want. Tell me what you're actually thinking." If she says, "Never mind," say, "No, I want to hear it." "I'm sorry I wasn't fully listening. Can you say it again?" These responses show her you're not just accepting the surface answer. You're willing to dig a little deeper because she matters to you. Here's another key insight. The reason she doesn't just tell you what's wrong is because she's tried before and it didn't go well. Maybe you got defensive. Maybe you minimized her feelings. Maybe you fixed the problem without addressing the emotion, so now she defaults to protection mode. That means the solution isn't about this moment. It's about changing the pattern over time. You need to consistently show her that when she's vulnerable, you respond with patience, curiosity, and care, not frustration or dismissal. One practical way to do this: when she finally does open up, don't interrupt. Don't defend yourself. Don't correct her version of events. Just listen all the way through. Then say something like, "Thank you for trusting me with that. I can see why that hurt." That's how you rebuild the safety she needs to be honest. Here's what happens when you keep accepting nothing's wrong at face value. The emotional distance grows. She stops trying to reach you because it doesn't feel worth it. Eventually, you're living with a woman who's polite but emotionally checked out, and you have no idea how it got there. But if you learn to read what's underneath the words, everything changes. You start catching the disconnection early instead of letting it compound. You become the kind of husband she can actually talk to, not just the one she manages around. One more thing. Sometimes she genuinely doesn't know what's wrong yet. She's feeling something but hasn't processed it enough to name it. In those moments, your job is to just be near. Don't pressure her to articulate it. Say something like, "I'm here whenever it becomes clearer." That's support without pressure. The bottom line is this: nothing's wrong is rarely true. It's a signal that something is wrong, and she doesn't feel safe saying it yet. Your response in that moment determines whether the gap closes or widens. Stop taking the words literally. Start reading the emotion. And most importantly, make it safe for her to tell you the truth by how you respond when she finally does. Comment below and let me know what you are currently struggling with in your communications with your wife. Click the link in the first comment or check my bio to discover an ebook that can help improve your communication with your wife.